Hello, loved ones, and welcome to the Sip and Chat. And I am going to play the Sip and Chat song while I wait for my awesome co host, Miss Nexty.
I spent a lifetime hiding in the grave with a heavy heart and nothing left to say. Battling shadows, walking in the rhythm of the life I didn't choose. From the silent cries and the darkest nights to the moments I almost gave up the fight. I was lost in the echoes of a hollow sound, searching for a solid piece of ground. But I'm Love Marlene, 411, and I'm standing tall. I'm living proof that you can survive it all. From the 411 to the depths of my soul, I'm taking back the pieces, making them whole. It's a journey of healing, a path to the light. We're breaking every curse and winning the fight. From my heart to yours, let the healing start. We're making peace with the past and broken parts. It's more than just a story, it's a brand new lens, seeing where the trauma stops and where the light begins. Breaking generational change, link by link, learning how to feel, learning how to think, guarding my spirit, my mind and my peace, watching the anxiety and the tension release. I found a self-love that was always meant to be, a gift from God now living in me. No more worthlessness, no more shame. I'm calling out the joy and I'm calling it by name. I am conscious of the seeds we sow. Watch how the garden starts to grow. But I'm Love Marlene, 411, and I'm standing tall. I'm living proof that you can survive it all. From the 411 to the depths of my soul, I'm taking back the pieces, making them whole. It's a journey of healing, a path to the light. We're breaking every curse and winning the fight. From my heart to yours, let the healing start. We're making peace with the past and broken parts. Spread the love, spread the light, live your best life, hold on tight. I'm Love Marlene, for Marlene, 411. The journey has just begun.
Hello. Hold on, let me stop this song. Hey everybody, welcome to the Sip and Chat, where me and my co-host Miss Nexty, we sip and we chat about very important topics, and today is no different. How are you guys doing? I always ask this at the beginning of every single podcast. How is your head? How is your heart? Are you on your journey of healing? Is peace with you? Are you residing in peace? And if not, why not? On this channel, we really put a focus on our healing journey, whatever that means for you, wherever you are, whatever you need to heal from, whoever hurt you, whoever abused you, disrespected you, didn't show up for you. This is a space where we talk about those very uncomfortable conversations so that we don't turn into those angry, miserable, or those mothers or fathers or people that are angry and miserable. We want to heal that. We don't have to be a product of our environment, of our past, but we have to make that choice to heal that. So, welcome to the Sip and Chat. And today, the topic is going to be on taking action. I have to say to all of the loved ones that I was definitely one of those individuals that always allow people to take advantage of me. And not really because I was um, trying to allow people to run over me. I wasn't trying to, but it winds up happening that way because you get into this cycle of people pleasing. You get into the cycle of not standing up for you because you've been so used to always helping and supporting and doing a lot of toxic behavior. Let's just say it for what it is, loved ones. We are the ones that complain about other people and their toxic behavior, but in order to be the best adults, the best human beings that we can be for ourselves, we have to stop allowing people to run over us and harm us emotionally and financially and in all aspects. Anybody who is taking you for granted, making you feel like you're less than, abusing you, making you feel like you have no value. It's all about them. These are some of the things that we have to take action from toxic individuals like these. Yes. Hey, real odds and evens, how are you doing? Welcome. Hey, just relax now. Yes, everyone, please Real Odds and Even says, and some took our kindness for weakness. And that's just what it is. And I'm so glad that you said that, Real Odds and Evens. I see my co-host, Miss Nexie. So I'm gonna add her to the chat. Hey, Miss Nexie, how are you doing?
Hello, Miss Marlene. Hi, everyone. How are you, Miss Marlene?
I'm doing great. Now that you're here, Miss Nexie, I can play the sip and chat song.
Let's do it.
Yay. Let's do it.
Pull up a chair, leave your worries at the door. Whatever's on your mind, you don't have to carry it no more. The steam is rising from the cup, the vibe is feeling right. We're diving deep into the soul, we're searching for the light. From the aches and the pains to the joys we finally find. It's the sip and chat, the healing of the mind. It's Marlene and Miss Nexie, side by side. No secret too heavy, nowhere left to hide. They're pouring out their hearts just to fill yours up again. A conversation started between two good friends. Whoa, this is the Sip and Chat, the weekly place to be, where we talk about the heart, and we set the spirit free. Pour a little love, take a little sip. Life is a journey, the message is clear. Love is all you need, love is all, and you'll find it right here. Yeah. Matters of the heart, yeah, we're breaking down the walls. Learning how to stand up even after all the fall. Self-love is the lesson, self-care is the key. Becoming the person that you're meant to be. So watch the videos, enjoy the weekly flow. We're planting the seeds to help your garden grow. Turn those notifications on, don't miss a single drop of the wisdom. Because you deserve to feel better, you deserve to heal. Where we talk about the heart, and we set the spirit free. Pour a little love, the message is clear. Love is all you need, and you'll find it right here. Sip and chat, sip and chat. Love yourself better, love yourself
I love that song. I love that song. Hey, Miss
So do
Nexie,
I.
thank you so
So do I.
much. Yes, that's a song that I feel like it embodies everything that me and Miss Nexie talk about all the time. A
That I am?
healing
Yes.
journey, self love. I love it. So, how are you doing today, Miss Nexie?
No, it says it embodies everything that I am.
Yes, it sure does. That's you're right,
Uh,
my friend.
I am doing good, Miss Marlene.
Very
How are
good.
you?
I'm doing very good. Oh, I gotta ask you because I have not been asking you for the past few weeks. This is a sip
I
and
know.
chat, so what are you sipping on over there?
Well, I'm having coffee. I know it's hot. It's hot, but I'm having coffee because somebody brought me a fruit tart. So I'm having the fruit tart with my coffee. I
Ooh,
know, right?
fancy.
I love it. So I'm having hot coffee, but I have the AC on.
That's okay. You're allowed to, Miss Nexie. You're allowed.
Yeah. What about you, Miss Marlene? What are you sipping on?
It's not fancy, but I told you I've been working on my health journey and cutting back on sugar. So, you know how you buy those little packs that you put into your water that it
Hmm.
tastes sweet, but it's no sugar?
The
Yeah.
hydration.
Yeah, the little hydration things.
Mm,
Yeah.
they're good,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you work out or you take a long hike. They're very good.
Oh, thank you so much for the gifted membership, Real Odds and Evens. And thank you so much, Miss Nexie, for the gifts. I really
Oh,
appreciate it. Thank you,
you're
thank you.
welcome. Did you
So,
see that
Miss,
little cat?
yeah, I got a
I
cat
was
and I
rushing
got
to
a,
get that.
you want, oh, and guess what it says besides the cats? Turn it
But
up.
it's, yeah, exactly, because it's playing the turntables. I was like, I have to hurry up. I have to hurry up because the song's gonna finish.
That's so nice of you. So welcome everybody to the Sip and Chat. Let me get the banner here. Today's topic is when you hit a wall, don't threaten, take action.
Mm.
Miss Nexie, this is a what is a things that make you go
You just reminded me of the song. Things that make you go.
Yeah, I know. I would, but I'm not going to make you guys run away if I start singing it. So I won't. But
Well,
go
there's
ahead, Miss
so
Nancy.
much. No, no, I'm saying there's so much that sometimes we run away from. Instead of kind of like talking it out or taking action, because sometimes you feel it's going to create more trouble, I guess. Oh,
Hmm.
sounds weird, like an
I
echo.
know. Yeah, it does. It sounds like this echo, and it's kind of popping on my end. It does that sometimes. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna just push through. When you're talking, I'm going to mute, and vice versa. We'll mute back and forth. But I'm gonna let you talk. Go ahead, Miss Nexie.
Oh, no, no, I was just saying that it's very difficult to know when to and when not to take action. I Again, I've said it many many a times here that I do not like confrontation. So when things bother me, things don't go my way, or things are getting in my way, from people that I have already asked, either not to repeat an action, not to repeat an inaction as well. I sometimes step away instead of pushing on, because I'm afraid that if I confront again, or if I go and talk to them, I'm sorry, not confront, but if I go and talk to them, then it will probably become a confrontation, right? Because we're both going to be, high tone at this point, or upset, or whatever the thing is. So, I'm the type of person that if you give me a task, or if you ask me to do something, if I cannot do it, I will tell you straight out, I can't. But if I can, and not right away, I will give you a timeline. I can do it tomorrow, I can do it tonight, but I keep my word. And when people don't, that's when. But anyway, go on, Miss Riley. Now it's your turn.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good thought, Miss Nexie, because I think I don't know, Miss Nexie. I think it's, even though I didn't grow up in the Caribbean, I have so much Caribbean in me. I have definitely the Caribbean kind of attitude. I'm always chill, like whatever. Like I honestly, I can't stop being that way. I'm just the type of person and I know that it's not always good to always be calm and chill, that there are times where when you're that way, when you're too nice, when you're overly nice, or when you're doing things, you're being a supporter but never being supported. This is some of the type of things that I had to unlearn. And I said, I had to start teaching myself, no, Marlene, that's toxic. You can't always be the supporter. You can't always be the giver. You deserve to receive. You deserve to be supported. You deserve these things. And that's one of the reasons why it kind of stemmed this conversation that I wanted to have. Like, when you hit a wall, don't threaten and take action, because it seems sometimes when we try to tell people about the things that we don't like, the way we're not supported, it's like you hit a wall. It seems like you're always saying the same things over and over again, especially with relatives and friends and whoever you're in a relationship. And it's like they don't get it. It's like, that's why I want to have this stream today. It's not a time anymore to keep telling people they're hurting you. Now it's time to take action.
And that's sound advice. And I, for one, have done. I have taken action with a lot of my um, family members. Sorry about that, Miss Marlene. Somebody was being a walrus, and so it is hard. W- Again, I'm very patient. I give people that I love. Again, my kids, um, immediate family, and friends that have become immediate family to me. I give them opportunities, right, to either right the wrong, or tell them maybe a little bit more than two, three times, when they're either taking advantage, reaching too far, pushing, away too hard, or pushing and pulling in towards them too hard. I don't give outsiders, the same grace, because I don't waste my time on that. I again, my peace of mind is my number one thing, which brings me to the next thing that I'm going to say. When I see that nothing that I say, nothing that I do, nothing that I write and send to them, nothing that I leave anywhere, clues, whatever it is, that, nothing gets through to them, what I do is I push them away. And then, because peace of mind, my healthy mind, heart, and body. For me, everything comes together. When somebody disrupts either my head for getting in there because I'm upset, or my heart because they're hurting me, that's not gonna do. So I cut them off. And I stay in silence mode for a very long time, because I like to collect data in my head as to why I did this. Like, was it because I was upset, or how many times have they committed this kind of crime in my mind? How many times have they push me, pull me, whatever they've done. So I like to take inventory of how many times, or why, and calm myself down, so that when I finally tell them why, they're no longer in my inner circle, or part of my life, even my distant life. I want to be as clear as I can. And I want to make sure that when I say I'm done with this and take that action, right? The next step, I can explain to them the reason why. And hopefully, in the next friendship or relationship, they're not going to commit the same, mistakes. Because I have that done to me by friends. They have said this and this and that. That's why we're not friends anymore. And then I realize I'm like, oh my God, I did do those things. Like why was I so rude or why was I so careless? But I learned my lesson, right? So I do that, family or friends that are family. I let them know. Again, I take my inventory. I talk it in my head over and over and over because that's what I am, kind of person I am. And once I, ready to dish it out, it's over. There's no coming back.
Yeah, I agree with you, Miss Nexie. And it brings me to my first point, and that's stop trying to protect people who don't care about you. Now, if you really think about that, Miss Nexie, when I went to therapy and I really started working on myself, I never realized that it was to that full magnitude that I was just like, oh, you know, it's those things. We make excuses for them. Oh, that's how they are, or they're busy, or they didn't mean to hurt my feelings. We have to stop excusing people, stop trying to protect people who don't care about our feelings or our time, our money, our whatever. And it's not okay. And that's one of the things, like, I want for us to stop trying to diminish it. Oh, it's not as bad. It's not as bad. Yes, it is. It's as bad as you think it is. It really is. So we have to stop trying to protect people who don't care about us.
It's true. It's true. And it's funny because I have seen so many it's probably a little bit off of the topic right now, but it came to me because it's related to this. I've seen so many parents that when their child makes a mistake, um, breaks the law, I don't know, in any way, they're right away, even if they know the child is guilty of the infraction, it doesn't matter what it is, right? Disrespecting someone, breaking something at school, hitting a child, whatever it is. And I'm talking, an adolescent, little one to probably like before 18. And sometimes if it after, but before 18 is the most important part, right? They protect them instead of making them take accountability and make them accountable for what they did so they can learn, right? That they should not break the law. And instead of saying, if you do break the law, I am not going to be part of that. I love you, but as a parent, I can't. They protect them. And no matter what, I've seen unalivings of teens unaliving other teens, and the parents are there with the child saying that, oh my God, he's such a good boy. He was such a good girl. And I'm like, who cares what they were before, lady? This person and whatever child you want to call it, but this person just unalive somebody else in the worst way possible, or just abuse somebody else in the worst way possible. And you're still defending, how are they going to grow up to be people that actually take into account their actions if your reaction as a parent is, I got to protect them?
Yeah.
And that's sometimes what happens to us growing up, right?
Yeah. that and that's one of the things that I wanted for us to really think about it, because I know that I had so many scars from my childhood because my parents didn't care about the people who, what they said to me. It was like, well, they would make excuses for them. Oh, you know how your auntie is, or you know how that person is, and whatever. Oh, they're having a bad day. It was always excuses building for them. So when I got to be an adult, I followed suit in what my parents or other people around me had done. And that's toxic behavior that as adults we have to unlearn those things. It's not okay when people always show up late to everything. That they have zero time management. They don't value your time. Or when people say something and they don't keep their word. Oh, I changed my mind. And there's, oh, what's the big deal? I changed my mind. It's all of those things constantly. People keep doing things, and if they did the same thing to you, it would not be okay, but it's okay if they do it to you. So these are the things where we're always working on elevating and empowering ourselves, that I don't have to be a doormat. I don't have to be used. I don't have to take your mess. I don't have to stay in this toxic romantic or friendship or whatever kind of relationship. You don't have to stay around just because you know people, just because they have never been
But
checked on it.
exactly, Miss Marlene, that's exactly the point. Is that things that you're asking, our parents and their families and whatever, we can't do nothing about those people. They're cray cray. There's nothing we can do to fix them. They're unfixable. They're broken. At least that's what I think about my family. Talking for myself, people, not Miss Marlene's or anybody else. But what we can do is teach our children, right? Growing up, not to be those type of people that if you are supposed to go to work, you have to clock in at 8. You don't get up at 7:45, right? Start getting ready then and then leave home at 8 so you can be there like around 8:10 or 8:15. You know, you have to teach them that even if it's not work but school, you have to be there on time and make sure they get up on time. If they have a party to go to, they have to be there on time. If they have to come home, they have to come home on time. All those things are taught, as we have kids, they're taught when we're little,
Hmm.
right? And our family and our extended family have always been the type of people that, because nobody taught them or nobody called them out, maybe since they were little, nobody checked on them, make sure that they were following certain rules and regulations. They grow up and that behavior, the toxic behavior, is passed on to the next generation and then the next generation, unless you put a stop to that,
Yep.
or
You,
life will teach them.
yeah, or like, and usually it's always at the cost of hurting other people, because there's many people, Miss Nexie, and I say it all the time. There's so many people who are entitled, feeling that they should be given things and they don't really have to do any, they don't have to work hard, they don't have to do anything to get the things that they want. They think that they deserve to go to the front of the line, do the least amount of work, and still get everything everybody else is getting. And it just does not work that way. So that's one of the things that I want to empower the minds of all of the loved ones, is we have to stop trying to show up for people who don't care about us. You tell them how you feel. You tell them that they hurt you. You tell them that you don't like what they're doing, and they continue to do it. So that's what I'm talking about. When you hit that wall, you've talked about it. You've had conversations. You've showed them how it makes you feel, and it goes on deaf ears. It's not a time to keep making excuses. Now it's time to say, what is my next step? And everybody's going to be different, but it should be moving towards, how can I get away from these individuals?
Exactly. Miss Marlene, I worked in a very large office before, working in the hospital that I worked at. And we had, I think it was probably like 10 doctors. It was a pretty large, it was like urgent care, right? But it wasn't a hospital, it was just like a clinic, an office, whatever you want to call it. So I had we used to have a meeting. Sometimes we will do it in the office. If it was too busy, too noisy, we will go out to eat. And we did that for many, many, many years. But there was always, I will get there. Let's say they said we're gonna get together at 7. I will get there exactly at 7. sometimes like 5 minutes before. 7:15, 7:20, one will show up. 7:30, another one will show up. 7:35, another person. 7:40. By the time everybody showed up, it was 8 o'clock, almost 8. And I had been there forever, right? So that happened about 4 or 5 times. The last time that I attended, because that was when I told them I'm not coming anymore. So whatever you guys talk about next time you get here, just send an email to me, just letting me know what's going on. Because they did it very like a lot. Once or twice, another person was there waiting, right? But it was mostly like I was there waiting. So that day, I got there exactly 5 minutes again before 7 because it was close to the clinic. I walked to the restaurant, and then I was like, you know what? It's 7 o'clock. I'm ordering dinner. I ordered my food. I ordered whatever I was gonna have to drink. I told her as soon as I'm done, get my dessert, and I told her exactly what I wanted. By 7:20, the first person that after me showed up, and he looked at me like, oh, like you're eating, right? Then the third, fourth, fifth, it was like 10 or 15 of us that will get together. When everybody showed up, I had already eaten dinner. I already had my coffee. I had my dessert. I cleaned my mouth, grabbed my napkin, put it down. I said, okay, people, this is the seventh time that I show up in time and none of you do. And none of you give a crap. I didn't say anything disrespectful. I said, none of you care. None of you give a crap. And I did say that. And I said, so this is the last time I show up. If there's anything interesting that you guys want to tell me, hey, somebody email me and let me know the highlights of what happens. This is the last time I show up for these meetings because I got things to do. And by the time I'm done with all this, I get home super late and I'm tired and I have to work the next day. So you guys have a great time. And don't worry, I said, I already paid for my food. And I left.
Good for you. Way to go. That's what you have to do. Oh, and I want to read some of these comments. And they act surprised when you finally stand up for yourself. They want to act like, where did this come from? Or you've changed. And you be like,
Hmm.
yeah, I definitely have. I'm no longer a doormat. Like I told one of my coworkers, yeah, I don't have your footprints on my back anymore. Yeah, and also this other comment here. Let me highlight that one as well. Yeah, and don't forget about people on social media too, because that is a category of individuals that will definitely take advantage of you, will disrespect you, and you'll tell them how, what they're doing, how it makes you feel. Because sometimes people have the opinion that if you're a content creator, you're just creating content, like you're not human. That
Yeah, you're just sitting down all day, just doing this. You don't have
yeah,
jobs.
yeah, you
You
don't
don't
have
have
anything to
family.
do. Yeah, you're a nobody.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. So, sometimes once it gets to that point, Miss Marlene, where I'm like, I am done. That is exactly what happens. I'm done. I put up with the problem for a while, went over and over and over in my head, and I put a stop to whatever it was in my way of progressing right to the next level of whatever it is that I wanted to do. And the same thing I apply with family members. I know it's not a workplace or whatever, but your family is like a little corporation, right? You have your CEOs, blah blah blah. But I do the
yes.
same thing because if not, people think that your time belongs to them. Your
Mhm.
patience, your kindness, your car, your money, and everything else that belongs to
Everything.
you belongs
Mhm.
to them. Miss Marlene, I'm gonna put you in a little hold, okay? Go on and
Okay,
talk. I'm
sure,
listening.
sure, sure. And I wanted to go to the next point. That's a great point, Miss Nexie. Um, I think this is so important. This right here. Stop giving respect to disrespectful people. I think this is one of the most important points of today's topic. When you hit a wall or a breaking point, don't threaten, take action, because when people are disrespectful to you, that is a projection of what they think about themselves. So, because they don't respect themselves, they feel that it's okay. And usually it's a person, they've been doing this for a long time. It's not just one time where they disrespected you, they've been disrespecting people for a long time. But what usually happens is nobody checks them. Nobody has set boundaries and say you will not do X, Y, and Z because of whatever power, they're educated, or because of clout, or the way other individuals have let them do all of this negative, hurtful, harmful, abusive talk or behaviors, that they feel that it's okay, and it's not. And I want to say that to everybody, it's not okay. Just
Hmm.
because people have been getting away with something for a long time, does not make it okay. So we have to stop giving respect to disrespectful people.
Yeah, a lot of times I think that, especially me, when I like before, I used to think that being disrespectful or somebody being disrespectful to you was just with words, right? Like, oh, he talked to me this way, he yelled at me, or she yelled at me this way, or she was so short and mean, whatever. But it's not just with words, they do it with actions or inaction, right? As well. They can be disrespectful to you that way. And again, it can be at home, it can be at work. But I think that the one that hurt me the most or hurts me the most, Miss Marlene, is when they are disrespectful with your money. And the reason
Yeah.
why I say that is because if I owe you $1, I am gonna pay you that dollar the day that I said I was gonna pay you that dollar back. You don't have to remind me. You don't probably I will probably do it a day before. You don't have to ask me, you don't have to chase me, anything, because I know that it's really hard for you to earn that dollar. So I'm gonna give it back to you as soon as I can if I ever have to borrow that dollar, right?
Mm-hmm.
When people disrespect you with your money, it's like your friendship or your family tie or whatever it is that you thought you were to this person gets disrespected, and it gets overwritten, like it meant
Yes.
nothing. There was no friendship, there was no relationship, there was no familial ties, there was nothing there, and I lend this my money to nothing there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's so true, Miss Nexie, because that's one of the things. It's like I've had individuals in my life like, well, you make good money, or you have good credit. It's like, wait a minute, because I worked hard to get money, or because I've been responsible, I'm now at at your beck and call. I am responsible, what's going on here? Because I have done what I'm supposed to do in my life. Now you feel like I have to, is mandatory. It's not that they're even asking you. That's where I have the problem.
Exactly. But again, Miss Marlene, it's for me is something that I don't concern myself with anymore. Like a lot of the people that used to sometimes cause me like a headache, a heartache, almost a nervous breakdown because I had to deal with them. Those people are no longer part of my circle, my inner immediate circle. I have learned to delete or get rid of that type of people. And I only surround myself with people that are going to help me grow as a person, enrich my mind with different, topics of conversation, ideas, whatever. People that are going to make me feel good and come out of that friendship wanting to do even better than when I went in. You know what I mean? So I do not waste my time with people like that. And when I get to the point where, that doesn't, like, I'm fed up with, and the friendship ends, which is happening, right now, that person, they keep on calling and wanting to come back, and the more you say I'm done, the more you reject, the more they want to insert themselves again. It's weird.
Yeah, but Miss Nexie, when people, well, how do I say it? I think the only way some people can understand how serious you are until you actually cut them off, until you're gone out of their life, until you stop giving them money, until you set those boundaries, until you do what you've been wanting to do. They're never going to believe that you would ever put your foot down, because let's be honest, Miss Sexy, many of us are very, what I wouldn't say nice, but we're too naive. We've been
Too
taught
nice.
that. Yeah, we've been taught, oh, be a nice person. Guess what happens to the nice people? Nice people don't have money to take their vacations. The nice people get their credit ruined. The nice people wind up with headaches and all kinds of health problems because they're so stressed out because of what these toxic individuals do. What people do, the ones that are those crabs in the barrel, they're going to drag you down until until they get everything that they can from you. It's just like leeches. They're going to suck you dry. And then when they can't take anything else from you, they move on to the next person. But you're the one that will be messed up.
Yeah, but even if they move on to the next person, if you're still too nice or whatever, they're gonna come back and try to get you again. So you have to put a stop to that, and that's what I'm saying. I try to not be like that kind of person to a friend, or that kind of family member, right? I try very hard not to. I work hard for my money. I work hard for what I got, my house, my kids, everything. And again, I'm not someone that is always expecting people to help her, or people to, bail me out of things. But you always have that family, right? That person in your family. There's two in mine, as the movie says. But they always barely surviving. And your family always tells you, we gotta help them because they're
Mhm.
barely surviving.
Miss Nexie, you know what I call them? I wouldn't even
Mhm.
say that they're surviving. It's that they're always desperate.
Miss Marlene. And then I will say, if they're barely surviving, once I got once I started practicing what I had learned in my therapy, I said, okay, if they're so desperate, barely surviving, why do they keep on having kids? And if that is the case, okay, they want kids, whatever, it's their choice, their prerogative, whatever it is that it is what it is. Why do I have to bail them out all the time? Why do we have to cooperate every month so that they can stay afloat? I understand. I have kids too, but I'm not asking you guys for that kind of support or cooperation. I have never depended on anyone. You know what I mean? Like, so if you cannot, well, she has kids, and they're little. The last baby is only 3. There's pre-K. There is, centers where they can go, like daycare centers, right? She can go to work. That way, both of them can work. And now all 4 kids are going to be very well off because the parents are going to be working. This is not a time, Miss Marlene, where only the husband can work and we're going to be great. We're going to be okay. No, in this time and age, and it's been like this for a very long time, we both have to work because it's so expensive and because families are expensive. But
Right.
they want to live in the oh no, he just works and she takes care of the babies. Well, I didn't marry her. My
Mm-hmm.
husband didn't marry her. So why am I helping?
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped all that. They don't like me. They don't talk to me. I'm always the one, the mean, the stingy, the disrespectful, the obnoxious person in the family. And when I show up to an event or whatever, those people that I'm talking about, they get up and they go, they like separate, like they go, they scatter around in in a way that they don't have to talk to me, which is hilarious because I don't want to talk to them either.
You know what, Miss Nexie? I call those individuals that once you set those boundaries and that you're not going to be played, I call those people roaches. I'm not
Yep.
trying to be rude or anything, but that's just what they are because they're only going to come because they're only there to break, take whatever they can get the crumbs, whatever. And once they can't get it, and then they see you, oh, they're here. They take
Mm,
off because they're
mm,
like, oh, I know, she's probably gonna say something or whatever. When and like Sirius says here, right next, see, mass manipulation and gaslighting. That
mm-hmm,
is what they do, and they're very good at always pulling on our heartstrings. Oh, if you don't help me, then who's gonna help me? Like I put in the chat, other their bad decisions. It's not our problem.
mm-hmm.
Their bad
Exactly.
attitude, their bad decisions, their bad whatever, what predicaments they're in. And don't get me wrong, Miss Nexty, because I'm definitely a person that I will help somebody when I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want people to put me on the hook that I have to. Like is a demand. No,
Exactly, exactly,
no.
Miss Marlene. Which is what I was, what I was feeling because it was always every other weekend, not every other weekend, every other month, I should say. I shouldn't say every other weekend because they didn't hit me up every other weekend. It was just every other month. Because one month, one side of the family will help them. The next month, us, right? This side of his side of the family, her side of the family, his. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not asking you guys for anything. My husband is not asking his family for anything. Why am I here hooked to this every other month? And it wasn't, Miss Marlene, like, oh, $20 is fine. No, I mean, it's like 150 if you can. What?
Yeah.
Well, the rent is high and, the formula is high or the milk for the kids are high. And I'm like, and how is that my problem?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like, what's that movie? I always remember this saying, but I never remember what movie it's from. But they say, "Don't put baby in a corner."
Oh, dirty dancing.
Yes, yes, Dirty Dancing. Yeah, but that's how I feel. Like, don't try to back me in a corner because
Don't put this baby girl in the corner.
because it's not going to end well for you. I'm trying to tell you. And that's one of the things when you start becoming empowered and you start paying attention to discernment. Like, wait a minute, they asked me for money, but now they're on vacation, or they say whatever. I'm not gonna go, and then they do go. You find out it's a lot of grimy, underhanded, all kinds of manipulation, using lots of mind games. When you find out people are like that, we have to do what Sirius says. I stopped giving full access to halfway people.
Yep, exactly. Well
Yeah.
said, serious. Well
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. That's a round of applause right there
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
yeah, we have to stop giving them full access. So we're here on point number three. The only way that you can teach is by action.
Yep.
It's no more. And when you finally put your foot down, then they want to say, "Oh, I'll change. Oh, just give me another chance." Or this is, I'm so sorry. Like, do you think
Mm.
that this is gonna work? You think that excuse that sorry or here come the waterworks?
Yeah. We're
No,
family. We're so close. I love you.
no, I love
You know
you
I
so
do.
much. Why don't you love me? You should give me
No,
another chance.
and that's true, Miss Marlene. It's like when you take action, the consequences that come out of at least for me, it takes a while to get there. As I said before, with the family, I have a lot of patience. But once I get there, you cannot go back because then they will just say, "Oh, she'll get mad and then she'll get over it." Oh yeah, yeah. She's here. She's acting like this right now. If you implement your actions halfways, yeah, she's acting this way. She's gonna be fine. Next time she's gonna help me because she did it the last time. That's what happened last time. She was like this, acting all mad. And then when I asked her like 2 months later, she helped me.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yep.
So
So,
stick with your action.
yep. You got to be firm. You can't. What is it called? Wobbling onto opinions. Yeah, you can't. You
You
can't.
can't.
Mm-mm.
And I had they had an intervention for me when I stopped helping this other family member. When I said we're not gonna help anymore, I'm serious. I'm done. They showed up the other, you know, like I said, every other month. They showed up the month that it was supposed to be this side of the family. And I said, what part of I'm not helping anymore you didn't get? What part of that, whole sentence? What didn't you get? No,
Mm-hmm.
well, we thought that you were having a bad day. I said, no, I wasn't having a bad day. I go, as a matter of fact, and I'm over here enjoying the an ice cream cone. I was like, as a matter of fact, I was having a good day. And I'm like, no, no, look. And I'm having a great time right now because I can buy more ice cream cone with those $150 that I used to give you guys.
Yep.
And so my family showed up after they collected and they gave them the money. They called my aunt, my mom, my brother, my
Mm.
cousins, and I think they had a dog too. I'm not sure.
Oh
A
my
cat, a
goodness.
dog, an elephant, a bird. No, I'm just kidding. So they showed up and then they knocked on my door again and then, can we come in? And I'm like, whoa, whoa, hold on, what's going on? Well, we wanted to talk to you. And then my mom steps up, like, I wanted to talk to you. I asked them to come with me. I was like, this is your idea, mom? She's like, well, I we just wanted to talk to you. I was like, oh my god. I said, mom, you're gonna regret what you just did. In a moment, you're gonna regret it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Miss Marlene, it only took 5 minutes of a couple of sentences when I got up from the dining table, because they all sit down and I was sitting in front. It only took 5 minutes of the I cannot believe that you are turning into this type of human. Like, what is so wrong with you? We come from it went through that. I think it went through, we come from a poor country that we all help. And I think it ended there. I got up, I opened the door, and I said, get out.
Mm-hmm.
Before I lose my mind, I said, get out. I said, and mom, you stay. And
Uh-oh.
my aunties are like, oh, what do you mean? I said, get out. And I kicked them out and I said, mom, you stay.
Mm.
I had a talk with my mom. She got out 5 minutes later, crying.
Mm.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe she treated me that way.
Mm-hmm. Because she doesn't have the power anymore.
Yeah.
That's all
So,
it
no,
is.
and I told her, I said, what you just did is very disrespectful. I said, I'm not a teenager. I'm not your charge. You're not supporting me. You are my mother, and I have to respect you, but respect goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
What you just did, I said, just coming here and attacking me like that, confronting me like that in front of, I said, no, ma, you went a little too far this time.
Yep.
And that was it, Miss Marlene.
Hmm. That's
But
it.
that
And
ice
that's
cream
it.
cone was really good.
I'm sure it was. And Miss Nexie, we are here at the last point. Point number 4. They will never change. Focus on the words coming out of my mouth. They will never change. The people who hurt you, the people who backstab you, the people who use you financially, the people, oh, I'm going to say it. I probably shouldn't say it on YouTube, but I'm going to say it. The people who use you sexually, the people who they're just takers. So any way they can keep taking from you, any way they can keep manipulating you, any way that they can have a one up on you, they're going to continue until you put a stop to it. They're not going to change. The only person that ever changes is you, and you start getting crazy, and your mental health and your credit is ruined, and you're angry all the time. And they're fine because you keep letting them use you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, Miss Marlene. People do not, especially again, friends is different because friendships end, and if that person is not your family, you don't see them again, no matter what they've done, right?
Mhm.
But with family, it's different. With you know, romantic partners, husbands, wives, is different because especially if you have children, together,
Mhm.
no matter how they've used you or whatever they did to you, they don't change. And if you have kids, you always have that connection,
Yep.
right? But you are the one that changed. So even though if you know that that person is confrontational, if you know that that person again is going to ask you to come back, if you know that person again is going to blame you for ending the marriage, if you know that, so what you do is stay neutral. Here's the kid. See you next time. Bye. And don't answer back. Don't give them any attention. If you cannot hide and run right away, then just let them talk. But don't fall back for those promises. I'll change. I swear I'm a changed person. Like I'm not that young, naive or dumb person that you used to be with. Now I'm different. I've grown. No, nah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Show me. Show me. Prove me.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say, "Oh, good for you. Enjoy your new life without me in it." Mhm. Yeah.
You know what I do say to people like that? I say, you know what? Well, then take this, what happened between us, as a lesson learned. Your next
Mhm.
friendship, your next relationship, make sure you don't make the same mistakes you made with this friendship or this relationship. And that's how
Mhm.
you can show me that you have changed.
Yeah. That's the truth, Miss Nexie. And what Sirius says, you have to stand your ground respectfully. You have to address the cause and the effect. And Miss Nexie, honestly, sometimes the only reason why people are taking advantage of us is because we don't set those boundaries. We let them use us. We volunteer to do things when we didn't need to volunteer. We don't say no, or we say no and then we say yes. So those are the things that we have to change. And like Miss Nexi, Miss uh just like Sirius said, you have to audit your environment. You got to look through and say, what is causing me to feel stressed out, burned out, my mental health messed up? What is, affecting me physically, and all of it, everything in your life. If you're not okay because of certain toxic people, you're the only one that can change that.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true, Miss Marlene. It's all up to us. You remember I mentioned the friendship that ended a few months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That friend and I have been friends for 24 years. She was my best
Mm-hmm.
friend, like family, sister. There were several things of why it ended, but the one thing that it was already getting to me is that every time that this person will will get a good job, and then probably 2 3 months in, oh my god, I'm feeling sick, I have to go to the hospital, not show up for 3 days, then she will lose her job. And then she'll be like, oh, can I borrow money, can I, can you lend me like 500, like 300? She always paid me back, right?
Okay.
That's, but the thing is that I will get so scared, Miss Marlene, so worried that, oh my gosh, there she goes with her job again. What's gonna happen? She probably lose her apartment. But so I will get so worried, so worked up. There will be sleepless nights on my part. And she will get another job, and I will be like, she'll be like, okay, let me pay you. And again, 3 4 months, and then again, miss 3 to 4 days and lose the job again. So I was seeing a pattern, Miss Marlene, and me getting super worried, scared, whatever, and this person not concerned at all. Like this is something she always did, right? And not a big deal, which I never seen her act like that, but whatever. So when things were ending, because of all the things, I guess, again, I was ready to take action, Miss Marlene, as you said, and I did it. Um, I told her, I said, the weirdest thing is that right now that I'm letting go of our friendship, that I'm not going to worry about you or care what happens to you. I said, I feel so much lighter. I
Yeah.
said, I can't do this anymore. I can't. I cannot be your buffer, because even though I kept on telling her, stop missing work. You just started working and now you're calling in 3 or 4 days off because you're sick. They're not gonna wait for you, right? And you continue to
Mhm.
do it and aggravating, not taking my advice. I said, so I'm done, and I'm happy that we're no longer friends because you're not my problem anymore.
Yep.
That was mean. That was mean. But I am so much better, Miss Marlene. So much better.
Mhm. My thing, Nexi, and all the loved ones here. My thing is, I had to stop pouring out, and I felt like, literally, I felt like I was bleeding out. I felt like they were just taking everything that was vital. It's like I had no nourishment inside of me, because when you're around toxic users, gaslighters, manipulators, all those sorts of people, it keeps draining you. I was always tired all the time. I'm physically tired, mentally tired, financially tired, just tired all the time. And if you don't cut ties to people who drain you like that, you're going to feel like that for the rest of your life. And actually, I hate to say it, but sometimes it puts people in the ground.
Exactly. And Miss Marlene, what I started learning, or actually, no, what I started understanding, and yeah, learning, because I guess that, we learn from every experience we go through, right? When it comes to people burning us, or, you know, um, whatever they do to us, we learn whether it's good or bad. We come a better person from that experience. But what I was seeing, the pattern, as I was talking about this friend of mine, because it's the most recent one that I have had to let go, and it was the longest friendship that I have, had up to that point. And what I was learning is, or thinking is, I have children that don't behave and don't give me this type of anxiety, this type of problems, this type of worries. Why is she doing this to me? Right? She's an old woman. Like, why am I going through this with an old hag? I said it that way, by the way. And I never had gone through that with my kids, because my children are responsible kids, and they were responsible kids, and they are responsible adults. They work, they show up in time, they don't miss, they're good people. So I'm thinking, why am I wasting my time, my sleep, my worry, my heart, even my belly sometimes will hurt, and I'll be worried about whatever. And this not even my kid, not even a child. She is a grown woman. And so that's when I told her, I said, I'm no longer going to be your buffer, because I'm over here, like you said, he can probably get me in the ground if I don't stop worrying. And you're over here like cool as a cucumber. Like nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got another job already. Then why are you telling me that you don't have money and that you're worried, blah, 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 and you got another job?
Mm. You know, Miss Nexie, it's one of those things that people get so used to using you. They get so used to you being available and supporting them. You become people's anchor. But who do
Yes.
you have to anchor you? Who's going to stabilize you and help you to not burn out? Those are the kinds of questions that when my therapist started asking me those things, it was like I was like, I was like, I ain't got nobody. Wait a minute. Nobody's stable. Nobody's saying, "Are you okay mentally?" Calling you, stressing you out, begging you for, and you're up half the night. You're tossing and turning, worried about the problems that they told you about, and they are not even really caring about trying to come to a solution, a resolution. They just keep making a whole bunch of poor decisions. And then you're
Hmm.
expected to come and bail out and fix and help and heal and hear Miss Nixie, I have to say, I have to say this because this is a sip and chat, and we talk about healing stuff. I am so tired of hearing about people who always complain about their life, but they never do anything to change it.
Yep.
I'm
Me
so
too.
tired. I'm tired of hearing that. The
Yeah.
whining, the whining, the whining, the whining.
Yep.
Oh.
uh, I had several, like, not they wouldn't come to me because they weren't in my, but there was a lot of nurses where I worked at, and they will sit around, at lunchtime or whatever. There'll be a group here and there. Sometimes I would go to the cafeteria to get something, and I will hear them, I can't believe my daughter. Oh my God. I have to pay all this. I have to give her money all the time. She doesn't want to work. She doesn't want to do anything. I already told her you're 26. You should be working. I'm thinking, haven't I been listening to that for the past 4 years? Why is she still in your house? In my
Mm-hmm.
head, I don't say it to them, right? But I'm
Right.
thinking, she's 26. She shouldn't be there. You can kick her out. That's your house. But
Mm-hmm.
they complain, they bitch about it, and oops, sorry.
Miss Nexie,
They go-
you said what a lot of people wanted to say. Continue.
I'm sorry about that. They complain and complain and complain, and they do nothing about it. Once the child is in their presence, they forget about everything that they're supposed to be bothering them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking, okay, if you're gonna continue on with this, oh, she's this, and then I see you hand in hand and all happy buying her stuff. I see you at Target or Walmart, whatever, and I see you over there with your child shopping and giggling. Then where's the fury that I heard at the cafeteria? I feel like saying that. Where's the fury I heard at the cafeteria the other day? Like you're
Mm-hmm.
giving mixed signals. You want people to feel sorry, but in reality, people are saying, "Yeah, are you an idiot or what?" She's 26.
Mm-hmm. And that's what, those are the cycles that we have to end, and that's what I'm talking about, creating generational wellness and healing. It's not just saying, oh, these are my kids, or these are my siblings or parents or aunts or uncles. We have to stop enabling other people's bad behavior. It's not okay. Or friends or people that if they don't treat you right, if they don't do right to you, we're not just going to keep saying, you're hurting me. You're doing this to me, and then you just keep taking it. It's like you keep turning your cheek. It's time to lock the door. It's time to cut off access to you. It's not a time to keep complaining and whining about it, uh, because they already know, oh, you're not serious. You're just saying that you won't do anything.
Exactly. As I said before, they think that you're joking, or that because they are family, yeah, you can just, she'll be fine. Once, she'll forget about it, she'll be fine. Because you've done it in the past, right? You haven't reached your limit, I guess, on whatever it is going on. But once you do, there's no going back. And that's what
Mhm.
they learn eventually, Miss Marlene, that there's no going back. I do not, again, I do not get into involved in conversations or problems that are going to bring me down, or that are gonna be things that I don't matter to me, that I have nothing to do with me, especially when it comes to family. They have their little rifts here and there, and they're like, can you believe blah, blah, blah? I don't have time. Gotta
Mhm.
go, gotta hang up. Well, we need money for so and so. Nope, not me. You know the rules. Don't ask me for anything. Take care. Bye. So I don't concern myself anymore as before, because I used to be like, oh my God, they're gonna be mad. Oh my God, maybe, if one day I need them. But then it came that day, Miss Marlene, that I needed someone and nobody was there for me.
Mhm.
That's when I said, oh, I'm glad that I took that action.
Yep. And that is the reason why we continue to do the sipping chats, to have conversations like this. Like, ladies, gentlemen, it's not our responsibility to hold everybody down, because you're the one that's going to get sick if you're not already.
Hmm.
Let's have a real and honest conversation. The reason why you may be having those headaches, or having insomnia, or going through so much with an internal struggle, is because your body is already telling you you need to do something about this, and you keep
Hmm.
ignoring it. It's not time to it's,
Exactly.
it's time to woman up, or man up. What they say, put on your big girl panties, your big boy drawers. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You again, you're not. My dad used to say, because I will tell him, I don't know, what if she gets mad, or what if she doesn't like me anymore? And my dad was always say, are you made out of gold? No. Then she doesn't have to like you. I only like people that are made out of gold. And I was like, oh, okay, there's people made out of gold. I was a
Hey,
little
hey, hey,
dumb
can you
back then.
introduce me? Can you introduce me, please?
I was like, oh, so they're only gonna like me. Everybody's gonna like me only if I'm made out of gold. He used to say this when I was younger. And then I learned that not everybody is going to like the way you are. Not everybody always is going to appreciate what you have done in the past when you say your first no to their face. They will forget everything that you have done, that you have been for them, because you said that no this time that they needed you, right? They won't appreciate all the years that you were available, willing, and ready to do everything. They're gonna start counting from the day you said no. And everything else is gonna be forgotten. Now, from that day on, you're gonna be mean, you're gonna be rude, and they don't have to like you anymore. They don't have to talk to you anymore. And so I learned that as time went on, and I said, okay, you know what? It doesn't matter what you do in the past, because if they already have their mind made up that this time you said no and you're the worst, then they don't care about you, because they should remember what everything you did for them in the past, not just what you're saying, not just that you're saying no to whatever it is that they need this time.
Exactly, Miss Nixie. Exactly. And that's the point of everything, is awareness, personal growth and development. Because we're very big on personal growth, like growing through things, like, and evaluating, having these heavy topics and conversation, like, oh, they are playing me, for us to, like, oh, my kid is playing me, or my
Hmm.
spouse, or the person I'm dating, they're playing me, or the job, they're using me. Why do we need to understand that? We need to let that sink in, because knowing that people won't change, you need to level up. You need to cut them off. You need to move on. You need to close the door. You stop making yourself available for people who they don't care about you.
Hmm. They will
Yeah,
never appreciate.
no, never. They're never going to appreciate you. So, I feel like this has been an amazing topic, Miss Nexie. Great conversation, and I'm looking forward to the next sip and chat next week. Do you have any final words?
Just to make sure that whoever is taking advantage of you one way or another, just make sure um that you put a stop to it, because you feel
Mhm.
so much better as you start claiming your worth. So
Yeah.
put a stop to that and don't allow people to use you. Kindness, is when people give it to you, they don't expect anything back in return. That's what real kindness is all about. When
Yeah.
somebody cares for you, they don't expect you to do anything. They just love you. That's all. So if
Yeah.
people are not like that to you and they're always using you, cut that off.
Yeah.
Nope, not worth
Yeah.
it.
It's not worth it. So, a great topic, Miss Nexie. And my final words is going to be, this channel is about healing, growing, and we don't have to be run over by our relatives or kids or a job or people on social media. We don't have to be run over. We don't have to be taken advantage of. We can stand up for ourselves, and we can pay attention to that self-awareness. I know who I am. I know what I'm worth, and I don't have to do anything that doesn't fill up my cup. So spread that love around inside of yourself. Stand up for yourself. Know you're worth it. And you're not just around for people to use you. Yeah, spread that around. So great topic, Miss Nexie. Thank you to everybody who showed up to today's sip and chat. Thank you to everybody who gave gifts and a super chat, super stickers, and anybody who's listening in the replay or was in the bushes. I appreciate all of you for your support. And let me know in the comment section by sharing your thoughts. Have you woken up? Have you stop letting people run over you, and have you stopped being a doormat? I love that for you. This channel is all about a healing journey. So thank you, Miss Nexie.
Thank you,
Um,
Miss Marlene.
yes, thank you so much. Yeah, everyone have a good night. And it is a holiday weekend. So enjoy your holiday weekend for those of you who observe it.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's true, right? Monday
Yeah.
is. Oh,
Yes.
that's my boy's birthday,
Oh, okay.
May
Okay.
25th.
Oh, that's so
Forgot.
sweet.
Darn it, I have to go buy them something. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you for supporting Miss Marlene. Miss Marlene, thank you for having me. And
Yes, no
we'll see you on the
problem.
next sip and chat.
Yep, I'll see you on the next Sip and Chat. I'm going to end with the song, and I'll see you guys back next week.
Pull up a chair, leave your worries at the door. Whatever's on your mind, you don't have to carry it no more. The steam is rising from the cup, the vibe is feeling right. We're diving deep into the soul, we're searching for the light. From the aches and the pains to the joys we finally find. It's the sip and chat, the healing of the mind. It's Marlene and Miss Nexie, side by side. No secret too heavy, nowhere left to hide. They're pouring out their hearts just to fill yours up again. A conversation started between two good friends. Whoa, this is the Sip and Chat, the weekly place to be, where we talk about the heart and we set the spirit free. Pour a little love, take a little sip. Life is a journey, the message is clear. Love is all you need, love is all, and you'll find it right here. Yeah. Matters of the heart, yeah, we're breaking down the walls. learning how to stand up even after all the fall. Self-love is the lesson, self-care is the key. Becoming the person that you're meant to be. So watch the videos, enjoy the weekly flow. We're planting the seeds to help your garden grow. Turn those notifications on, don't miss a single drop of the wisdom. Because you deserve to feel better, you deserve to heal. Where we talk about the heart, and we set the spirit free. Pour a little love. The message is clear. Love is all you need. Love is all, and you'll find it right here. Sip and chat. Sip and chat. Love yourself better. Love yourself better. Weekly podcast. Pouring out that soul. Marlene and Miss Dixie, making hearts whole. Oh yeah, making hearts whole.